Hi, it's day 18, Friday, June 26, day 18 of 99. And I want to start on a little different path. I don't know if I'll do this in consecutive days or not, but I do want to do it. I want to talk about the 12 steps. A lot of people have heard about it, and most people, or I can't speak for most people, but I would say a lot of people think when they hear the 12 steps, they think it's just for alcoholics. And it was written, they were written by alcoholics for alcoholics, and in keeping with the 11th tradition of that fellowship, I'm not going to name it because it's anonymous. That's all I'm going to say. But I will posit that the 12 steps are for anyone. And I've heard it said it's for anybody who wants them, and that's true too. But the truth is, it's not just for anybody and anybody who wants them, but anybody who's willing to do them. And I've spent a lot of time looking at it and reading into it, and probably more than I need to, but that's the way I am. So I'm going to start with step 1 and make a separate video for each step. And the first step says, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. And just so you know, the word alcohol it's the only one of the steps that the word alcohol is used. And you can substitute that word for literally anything, a situation, a person, whatever. And when I started practicing these steps, alcohol was not the word that I used either. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But I want to point out that the steps are written in the past tense, all of them. So again, I will say what it says is, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. Not to be confused with are powerless. Now I want to make it real clear. There was a time in my life when I was powerless over alcohol and other substances. And the truth is, it was when I was under the influence of those substances and alcohol. But today, I'm not powerless. Now, I'm powerless over what it can do if I put it in my system. But I'm not powerless over alcohol. It has no power over me in the bottle. I have absolute power whether or not it ends up in my body or not. And I like to make that very clear. And whenever I work with somebody on an individual basis, I really stress that point. And when I thought I was powerless over it, which is, like I said, when I was under the influence, it wasn't the alcohol that I was struggling with, it was me that I was struggling with. And so currently, the powerlessness that I think we never get over completely is the powerlessness of our own thinking. You know, the thoughts that jump into at least into my head, and a lot of people I know, we have no power over that. Now, what we do with that thought is a different thing. And I'm not going to expand on that, but what I'm trying to say is we're powerless over our first thought. And we need to learn to stop and think about what that first thought is. The second part of the first step, that our lives had become unmanageable. I hear a lot of people thinking that they're still powerless and that their lives are still unmanageable. Well, my life was unmanageable by me as the sole driver or the head of the whatever. And that's been proven time and again. But my life is not unmanageable when I get the proper help. So with that, I will stop on step 1 and have a good day.